Viewers, you're welcome to another interesting episode. When I say interesting, this is an argumentative, or will I call it a debate, with Oluranti today. And I want to apologize for the times that I've been out. There are some things I can't share now, but I'll share with you later, by the time everything is all resolved. So the last time I came here, we discussed on domestic violence, and it's still the topic at the moment. So if you are watching me, get a seat, because it's going to be a very, very lively and interesting one. I remain your host, Oluranti Ajayi. So today we're discussing, I told you about domestic violence. I told you the other time what domestic violence is. So I'll be repeating the same thing I've said, just to guide what we're about to talk about today. So domestic violence is a physical intention to hurt or kill a person. Now, it is an intention. Now, the intention is the bone of contention of what we're talking about now. The intention of whoever is putting on that act to hurt or kill a person, because at that moment, that person is after making the other person feel bad. Now, the topic itself today is domestic violence. Who is to be blamed? That's between couple. Who is to be blamed? Is it the man or the woman? And I'm not doing this alone. I have my co-host here with me for today, in person of Mrs. Bukola Adeleye. Mrs. Bukola Adeleye, I welcome you to today's program. You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for having me on this program. And I welcome all the viewers. I pray as we'll be able to lecture ourselves on the topic today, may we not have any cause to cry over any one of us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Amen. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. The topic before you came on, I told my viewers that domestic violence, who is to be blamed? That's among couples. Now, domestic violence doesn't have to be physical. Sometimes it can be psychological. Yes, sometimes it can be emotional. So who is to be blamed for this? Is it the man or the woman? I would like to hear from you first, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry to cut you. I am for the view of the women. Why she is for the men?
Okay.
She believes. Okay, let her talk.
All right. As I've been introduced earlier on, my name is Mrs. Adeleye Bukola. So I'll be on the men's side, right?
Okay.
So I think most of the domestic violence that is occurring out there is from the men. So I'll be talking on the men aspect.
Mrs. Adeleye, the men?
Yes.
I disagree with you on that, ma'am.
I know.
The reason why I disagree with you, because you know, we women, we know how to talk. There are some things we say sometimes that will trigger the man. It's not that I'm supporting domestic violence, but there are some things we do sometimes that will trigger the man to want to hit. Now, men that don't have control, but sometimes there are sometimes things we do to trigger whatever the man does to we women. So what would you like to say about that?
See, to me as a woman, as a lady, I would say most of the domestic violence outside there is from the men. So regardless of how the woman or the woman is talking to the man, there is a limit to things at times. Let's us use the incident that happens in Nigeria that went viral about the popular, yes. Now look at the way, okay, we didn't know the woman, fine. But we've seen the work of the things that she has done. She has been a gospel singer. She's humble, the way we've seen it in the video that she has done before she died. Now let's take it back to her marital life. We could see that the man is at fault there.
How is he at fault?
Because according to the story I had, they said the woman is an humble person, that whenever she's back from the ministry or from any place she went to, the woman would give the man the money she earned from the place she was coming from. The man will joyfully collect the money from her. Now, the woman that is doing that kind of thing to a man must still go to an extent of that man raising up his hand to beat the woman.
No. This is Adeleye. Yes, it's true.
Okay.
From the story of Osinachi is what we can see. No, the dead is dead, and when the dead is dead, she cannot come to defend or whatever anybody says is right. But I don't know of Osinachi, but I always know that there are two sides to a story. Mrs. Osinachi, late Mrs. Osinachi, she could be different from, I know she's the kind of person that sees her husband as a small god. She could have seen her husband that way and then show, even before everybody, nobody knew what she was going through except her very close friends. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she triggered. Okay, ma.
Okay.
You said we should put the case of
Yes,
Osinachi
let's
aside.
put the case of Osinachi aside. Let me use myself as an example.
Okay.
I could remember when I got married. I'm not a kind of person that is that quiet. I'm an active person. When we talk about active, very, very active. But when I got married, I could see that the person I got married to is a kind of person that is very, very active than I. Let me put it that way. But along the process, I try to understand him.
Okay.
I don't know about him, but I personally, I try to understand him. So whenever he's talking like that, I used to keep my
Whenever
mouth
he's
shut.
angry.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe he's saying things that might make me get angry and start shouting, and people will start hearing what we are talking about in the house. I would rather keep quiet. So along the process, he will be thinking that what's wrong with my wife? Why is she not saying something? Despite all I've said to her and all that. So to me, as a man, there are some men like that outside there. Despite the fact that your wife was not even talking to you at that particular
While
time,
having arguments.
yes, you will still see that particular man raising up his hand to beat the wife, which is very wrong.
Okay. Yes, it's very wrong.
Yes.
Nobody supports domestic physical violence.
Yeah.
Nobody supports that. But then, we women, we have a way of running our mouths. We cannot fight, but we have a way of running our mouths. Have you ever heard of emotional abuse? Emotional abuse has to do with something of the mind. A lot of men go through that. You might not go through physical, but most times people are always agitated, especially in this part of the world. We're always agitating for feminism, this and that. It's selfishness. A lot of women abuse their husbands emotionally. Now, men are not the type that easily go. Women, we have a way of sharing our pain with our friends, but men are not like that. You hardly find a man going to discuss his personal issue. Even if he has a friend, goes to share his personal issue with another man. It's deep inside. Imagine a woman telling her husband, just because maybe they have an argument and just because he could not provide or he couldn't do some certain things that she expects or is expected to do, and say, look at you, have you seen your mates, have you seen what they are doing, have you seen what men, this gets deep into their score. That is an emotional abuse, and a man that cannot control himself will hit such woman.
See, I would agree with you on that, but for me, mostly, let's say in Nigeria, mostly things that we are hearing in Nigeria, it happens from men. I had, let's say on Facebook or Instagram, I read a story about a man. He set his wife ablaze with the brother also. So mostly things that domestic violence that is happening in Nigeria is from the men. Why are they like that? To me, the only thing they can do is to cool down their temper. There is nobody on earth that doesn't have an emotional feelings or an emotional disorder and all other things. But the moment you discover that, the best thing for you is to control it. Control it. You will never see it in Nigeria that they will say a lady beats a man to death. A lady do this to a particular man. It is always on men. Why are they like that? And according to the Bible too, like the bones we have, the men's bone are 9 in number, whereas the ladies or the women's bone, they are 7. Now look at it. Who is stronger? It is the men. You knew that your power will overwhelm the woman. The only thing for you to do is to what? Curtail it. Your anger, let it calm down.
Yes.
Let it calm down.
Mrs. Adeleye, I think you're still getting me wrong. I'm not supporting any man who beats his wife.
Okay.
In fact, any man who beats his wife is a weak man. Because he can, instead of wrestling with his wife, he should go outside and wrestle with his mates. Any man that in fact, such men the law should take its course on them.
Yes.
But what I'm saying right now is that sometimes, these men too, there's no man that has come outside to say this is what I'm going through. Some men are going through a lot in their marriages. Now, this has to do with discipline. What is happening to this person is different from what is happening to another person. It has to do with discipline. A man that feels that he cannot take it any longer, when his wife is running her mouth, saying all manner of things, what should he do? He should walk out.
Yeah.
He should walk out of the... I say a man that feels he cannot control himself, even if you can control yourself as a man, leave the house. Because women, we have a way of saying things that will push you to action. Leave the house so that it can be peace. Because when she sees that you're not answering and you've gone out, she keeps quiet. She can't keep talking, she'll keep quiet. And then later on, when you come inside, everything has subsided. And if you want to start again, go out. So that's just what it's.
See, I'll bring it back to the men aspect. So far we have it in men, in women. We also have it in men. A woman can start blabbing, talking. It is also in the life of men. So you see a man talking as a woman. He will start insulting you like a woman, and you won't believe it. So to me, to curtail domestic violence, we need to keep calm, both the woman and the man. If you see that your wife is saying things that you don't like, the best thing for you, keep calm or leave the house immediately. And if also is your wife that is doing the same thing to you as a man, instead of you being aggressive on her or punching her, because the woman body is flexible. Immediately you give her word, it will appear on her, and people will start saying what happened. So we are fragile. We need to be taken care of. So when you see that your wife is a kind of person that talks, the best thing for you as a man to avoid domestic violence, leave the house or keep quiet. That's the best thing. Keep quiet at that moment for peace to reign in your marriage. So
that's true. We can just go on and on and on, but there's no time. Thank you very much, ma, for coming to share your thoughts and your views on this.
All right, thanks.
Now back to my viewers. So we have not concluded to say it is the men or the women's fault. All we are saying is the both parties are at fault. The woman is not a saint. The fact that she cries or she shouts or she does this, she tells people, does not make her saint. There are two sides to a story. And remember, Yoruba will even say, sorry, I always use Yoruba. Yoruba will say, ìjà àárín ọ̀tọ̀ àtọkọ àtaya ó ṣòro dá sí, because when you try to intervene between them, at the end of the day, when they settle, they start talking about this, what the advice this person gave me, the advice that person gave me, and all that. All I would just say is that know your spouse. Know your spouse. When you know your spouse, you know when he is angry. When he is angry, you keep quiet. When he's talking, do not talk. And if you can't hold it as a man, you leave the house. You excuse yourself for that. I'm not saying you should move out of your home or husband's. I'm not going to use your opportunity. The woman has done, let me move out. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you excuse yourself for the main time that your wife is still angry. And when you get back, you see that everything will come back to be normal. And don't forget that women, we only know how to talk. We do not know how to fight. If you because of what a woman says.
Only woman. Let's put it in both sides.
The men too. They know how to trigger.
Some men are like women too. They talk. They talk. So don't put it on women alone.
We should not put it on the women alone. Okay. The women too and the men. They know some men, not all men. Some men know how to run their mouth like women, and while some women know how to run their mouth more. But we should mind how angry we get, because when we are angry, it's like when somebody is mad. A mad person does not know what he or she is doing. When you're angry too, it makes you look like a mad man. You start feeling and start acting in a way. Please, husbands, please, wife, the bottom line of this is that we should know our spouses. We should know when to talk. We should learn to be quiet for peace to reign. There's no perfect marriage anyway. A wife, everybody knows what, it might be better than each other, but everybody knows what he or she is going through. But if you, because of one person's marriage, compare your marriage, it will be a problem. If you don't want a problem, there's no need to. Just try to make sure. Now, marriages, why we have lasting marriage is that we have lasting marriage because the husband and the wife, the two of them, they have made up their mind that, you see, this marriage, it must work.
Okay, and also in Yoruba language, they used to say one should be a goat and the other one should be a sheep.
Yes.
Because if you have two goats in the house, you the eventuality that the one will kill the other person.
Yes.
So if your husband is like a goat, you try and be a sheep. And if your wife is like a goat, you as a man try to be a sheep, so that peace will reign in your marriage. So domestic violence is not, it to me, nobody is to be blamed. We have it in the men aspect and we also have it in the women aspect. They are both violence, let me put it that way. So
okay, all you just need is to be disciplined.
Yes.
Be disciplined, yes. Trust God, and be intentional about your marriage, that it must work. It's not easy, but with God it is easy. Yeah. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching and taking your time to listen to us. All right, thank you very much for watching and listening to us. Until you come your way again. If you want her again on the show, you can let us know through your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much for always watching Time Out with Ronti. Until I come your way again next week, by the grace of God. I remain your humble host, Ronti Ajayi. Bye. Please don't forget that there's always a room for correction, contribution, suggestions. Thank you very much. They are all welcome. I'll be waiting. I'll be at the comment section to get all your comments. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
And thank you, ma, for coming.